Be'ur Mishnah Yud. One more. Explanation for Mishnah Yud. Oh, see, before we said you're not allowed to send the suit. Maybe you are allowed to send suit. Yeah, let's do it again. Be'ur Mishnah Yud. Explanation for Mishnah Yud. Meshalchim beyom tov ish lere'ehu kelim. You're allowed to send on Yom Tov, men to his friends, garments, ben tfurim sheru'im elavsham beyom tov. Now, garments, you can say you're allowed to send him a new suit. Why? Because you're sending it for the Yom Tov. Right? That's an easy one. I'm sending him a new, for Pesach, I'm going to send you a new suit. You're allowed to send it on Pesach, because it's for Pesach use. But that's tafur. But here over here it says, Ben she'enam tfurim. You're also allowed to send him the garment, and he cannot use it in Yom Tov. Even that you're allowed to send him. Let's see why. She'af al pi she'enam ro'im lelavsham. That even though it looks like, hey, what ochel nefesh over here? There's no ochel nefesh. And I understand to send a suit, a regular suit that is already measured, you're allowed to because joy, because of joy of Yom Tov. Over here, there's no joy of Yom Tov. There's nothing. So why are you allowed to send it? It's against everything we learned so far. What's going on? Mikol makom, it says, nevertheless, it says maybe you're not going to use them for wearing, but you can use them as a blanket. You know, and it gives you joy to use this material as a blanket. So as long as it has some kind of use that a person would use it on a Yom Tov, it says because of joy of Yom Tov, you're allowed to. That's the idea. There is some kind of joy of Yom Tov you can find with it, then you're allowed to. If there's some kind of joy of Yom Tov you can find on it, you're not allowed to. And he continues even further. Nothing to do with us. We're not going to go into these areas too much because we're in Yom Tov. This is Ilchot Kilayim. Ve'af al pi sheyesh bahem kilayim. You're even allowed to send the person these garments, that the garments are kilayim. That you're not allowed to wear. Yeah, but I'm not sure if he's talking about garments over here or just the kelim she'enam tfurim, the kilai material. Yeah, the kilai material, the material itself. Why? It says, what do you mean? How are you allowed to say kilaim? Kilaim by definition is muktzeh, because you will not be able to use it on Yom Tov. The fact that they're kilaim, that means you cannot use it on Yom Tov. It says not true. Who says you're not allowed to use kilaim in Yom Tov? Ve'asur lelavsham. It says you're not allowed to wear them, so they must be muktzeh. How come you're allowed to send them? Mikol makom efshar leishtamesh b'Yom Tov. It says I can show you that you're allowed to use kilaim in Yom Tov. How? Kegon im abgadim kashim hem. For example, if even the garments, he says, they're very hard. She'enam mechamemim et hakuf, mutar lishev v'lishkav alehem. It says you can still use kilaim as a cushion as long as they don't heat you up. Once they start to transfer heat back and forth, you sink into them. You're not allowed to sink into them. They have to be very tight. Because if you start sinking onto them, there's the question, maybe it's half a garment already. Okay. And they also need to be something else. Vehem letzorech hamoed. And they also have to be a cushion that the guy asked for, that he needs it for the holiday. כלומר, שאין משלחים בגדים אלו ביום טוב, אלא כשהם לצורך המועד. All these examples, we're only going to send for the holiday itself. In other words, you're not allowed to send him a garment which is not for the holiday. A suit which is not for the holiday, you're not allowed to send. But for example, a suit, not even a suit, the material you're allowed to send, as long as you know that he can use it for the Moed. He can put it on the sofa, so you can sit on. You can put it on that you're allowed to do. In other words, you have to have in mind that he's going to use that thing that you send him, or he can use the thing that you send him on the holiday. If he cannot use it on the holiday.
So if I have Mendel the tailor, neighbor, and she said to me, I make you a zilon, I make you a carton. And in the Yom Tov, she sent it to me. She said, oh, here, I finished it.
A vilon maybe is not a good idea.
Because what? You can hang it on the Yom
Because you
Tov?
cannot hang it on a Yom Tov, that's right. Maybe that's not a good idea. But a covering,
Two holes and you just put it like that.
I don't know, you're not allowed to build on Yom Tov. You're building.
That's building.
Yeah. But for example, she sends you the cover for your couch. Then you're allowed to.
Put it on and you sit on it.
Yeah, spit it on, you sit on it.
Then
Yeah.
it's good.
Then it's good. Yeah.
Or even the vilon, maybe you can put on the couch.
Oh, yeah. Or if you could use it on the couch and then afterwards.
After the Yom Tov,
Yeah. As long as it's befitting for that. Yeah. Very good.
Okay.
Up to here is good. Avalo, but if you go into the person who makes shoes, you're not allowed to send the person who makes shoes, the cobbler, avalo sandal hamesumar. He's not allowed to send shoes that have little they used to put little nails in it, inside the bottom of the shoe, so that you can have traction. You know, those little nails, and we discussed this sandal mesumar before. You remember sandal mesumar?
No.
Sandal mesumar, you remember the case, I think in Ruvin we learned it, or maybe in Shabbos it was, that there was a case where the people, like in Merom, that where people were hiding in a cave and there was a war and they started trampling on each other and they killed each other with the shoe. They were running on top of each other. He's going to talk about over here. If he doesn't talk, I'll explain it again. אין משלחים ביום טוב סנדל המחופה במסמרים. We don't send on Yom Tov a shoe that is full with spikes. לפי שאסור לנעלו ביום טוב, because the sages made a decree, when there's ever a big gathering of Jews, they're not allowed to wear this kind of shoes. Because
What kind of shoes are those? What do you mean? Sandals?
bread, it looks like a shoe. They have them today, by the way. It looks like a regular shoe, and they have a lot of small metal spikes, small ones.
Oh,
You know that?
like kadurel.
Yeah, like kadregel. But kadregel is big. Yeah, yeah. Over there, it's not so big. It's small ones. It's for traction. So that when you walk, it's for walk. So you walk on the field. You know, you don't have traction. So a lot of people, when used to walk, used to wear the regular day. That's what people used to wear. So it says on Yom Tov, you're not allowed to send it. Why? There was a decree by the sages never to wear these kinds of shoes on a Yom Tov. Why or not on a Yom Tov? Because in a Yom Tov, a lot of crowds gather, and there's cases like in Merom where people trample each other. So therefore, they say never wear on Yom Tovs when a lot of Jews come together. That's right. Don't wear this kind of shoes because it can cause death. So it says, so this one now it becomes muktzeh on Yom Tov. You're not allowed to send it. Because you're not sending it. I know for sure you can use it on Yom Tov. That's right. So you can send it on Yom Tov. So, אין משלחים ביום טוב, סנדל המחופה במסברים, לפי שעשו לא ביום טוב, because you're not allowed to wear it on יום טוב. כמו ששנינו, we learned it before, שבת, פרק ו', משנה ב'. לא יצא האיש בסנדל המסומר, like we said, on Shabbat is a person, so on Shabbos and Yom Tov, you're not allowed to wear these shoes. ומבואר הטעם בגמרא, the Gemara explains the reason, שגזרו חכמים משום מעשה שהיה בימי גזירת השמד. The sages decreed not to wear these sandals or shoes because there was a time of the Romans שהיו נחבאים במערה, that people were hiding in a cave, ושמעו קול מעל גבי המערה, they heard a voice from the top of the מערה, they thought the Romans are coming, כסבורים היו שבאו עליהם אויבים, they thought the Romans are coming, דחקו זה את זה והרגו זה את זה בסנדליהם המסומרים. They trampled each other and many people were killed. There wasn't even an enemy over there, it was just a noise. And they were killing each other for no reason. יותר ממה שהרגו בהם אויבים. The enemy did come, but the enemy killed 5 and they killed 50. Yeah. באותו שעה אמרו, so the sages made a decree, אל יצא אדם בסנדל המסומר. They made a decree, a person should not go out with a sandal that has spikes, וכיוון שהמעשה היה בשבת, לא אסרו אלא בשבת וביום טוב. And since it happened on Shabbat, they say since Jews gather specifically on Shabbat and Yom Tov in large masses, we're going to disallow it on Shabbos and Yom Tov. שהם ימים של איסור מלאכה, these are a day where nobody walks, ומתכנסים לבתי כנסיות ולבתי מדרשות. Everybody gathers together to one place. So it makes sense. ולא מנעל שאינו תפור. Another thing you're not allowed to send, a shoe that is not completed, not all the way done. ואין משלחים מנעל שאינו תפור, ואפילו מחובר בעיטות של עץ וכדומה. Even if everything is done, you just need to, a little bit here, a little bit there. You need to, let's say, you need to size it to the person. שמכל מקום, since it's not sized, you cannot use it now. You have to get to the teller anyway, so therefore I'm not allowed to send it.
In other words, as long as you cannot use it.
That's right, on Yom Tov itself. בוא נתחיל עוד פעם מרבי יהודה. ולא מנהל שאינו דפור, אוקיי? רבי יהודה אומר, רבי יהודה add something else, אף לא מנהל לבן. Rabbi Yehuda says, even not a white shoe. Now, what's the idea of a white shoe? We discuss soon. אף מנהל לבן הם שכם ביום טוב. A white shoe means you send, in other words, the shoe is finished. The shoe is finished, but you didn't paint it yet. In other words, the cobbler did his job. That's right. That's right. מפני שצריך אומן להשחירו, because somebody is going to color it. Yeah? בגמרא מבואר, by the way, it's only Rabbi Yehuda says you're not allowed to wear white. Everybody says you're allowed to wear white. Yeah. So לכאורה, in other words, Rabbi Yehuda looks like he's right, everybody else is wrong.
כן, למה לא? If I can wear it and I want to wear white.
No, because nobody else wears the whites. No, you don't go according to you. You go according to the market. In all things. Rabbi Yehuda looks, זהו. מפני שצריך אומן. בגמרא מבואר, so it explains in the Gemara, שבמקומו של רבי יהודה לא היו נועלים מנעל לבן עד שמשחירים אותו. It says, why is Rabbi Yehuda so crazy? Because in his place, people did not wear white. Everybody else, some people wear white. So if some people wear white, you're allowed to. But if in your place no one wears white, then you're not allowed to send. So it depends on the place. הילקח עושה רבי יהודה לשלח מנעל לבן ביום טוב. Therefore Rabbi Yehuda says, no, nobody says, in Rabbi Yehuda's place it was very muddy, let's say, and everybody will get new shoes, they will never leave it white. They will immediately paint it, because otherwise it's going to get ruined. זה הכלל. So now we can get the rule. כל שנאותים בו, anything that you're allowed, that you're going to use, כל דבר שאפשר ליהנות ממנו, everything that you're allowed to, you're going to, it's possible to get enjoyment from it, ובגמרא מבואר, כל שנאותים בו בחול, כמות שהוא, in other words, not just that you're allowed to use it, it means that you would use it this way in a regular weekday. You don't need to do anything else to it. Yeah, that you would use it this way. That's my shoe. That's right. היינו שמתוקנו כל צרכו, which means this is the way I would do it. Yeah? ביום טוב משלחים אותו. Then you're allowed to use it. To send it to יום טוב. So you're allowed to send me a suit in יום טוב. What's the problem? מותר לשלחו ביום טוב. כגון, he's going to give an example. Interesting example. כגון תפילין. Even תפילין. You finish your תפילין in יום טוב. The guy finished Erev Yom Tov and he wants to send you the tefillin on Yom Tov. He's allowed to send you the tefillin on Yom Tov. We're not going to talk Shabbos rules right now. Why? It looks like, excuse me, it's muktzeh. I'm not allowed to use it on Yom Tov. Right? Tefillin is there, so how can you not to send it? Tefillin is not some muktzeh like we think it is. Yeah? There are some uses for tefillin that you're allowed to wear tefillin on Shabbos and on Yom Tov. So it's not real muktzeh. Yeah, I mean it is muktzeh, but we don't want to say muktzeh on tefillin. But for example, if somebody has shin daleds, it says, he has shin daleds coming into his house, shadim. He thinks there's shadim in his house, so he says he's allowed to wear tefillin on Shabbos or on Yom Tov because he's afraid of the shin daleds. So it's not yeah. But again, not halacha. We're not going to learn. Tefillin is a controversial issue. הואילו בחול מניח אותם כמות שהוא. Since in the חול he wears them the way they are. מותר לשלחם ביום טוב.
כן, אבל you can't use it in the יום טוב.
We said, even on Shabbos and Yom Tov, you can use it for shin daleds. Yeah, so...
Because of this...
Yeah. Maybe, yeah. I say, tefillin is a problematic. Don't think about tefillin. I don't know why... Yeah, I don't know why they brought this example. Yeah, I wouldn't have read this example. It's a very controversial example. ומפרש רש"י הואיל ואפילו מניח אותם ביום טוב, אין בזה איסור. Or Rashi explains, it's not that you're not allowed to wear them in Yom Tov. We don't wear them, you don't need to wear them in Yom Tov. But you're allowed to wear them in Yom Tov. Like I said, there are circumstances we're allowed to. Yeah? In other words, it's not muktzeh, according to Rashi. It's not muktzeh, that's the idea. Beram, sandal mesumar, but we're talking about a spiked shoe, אף על פי שנאותים בו בחול כמות שהות, even though you would use it in a regular day the way it is already ready, מכל מקום אסור לשלוחו ביום טוב, nevertheless you're not allowed to send him יום טוב, because there's no way to use it on a יום טוב. See, tefillin, there's a way to use it on a יום טוב. For example, the example I gave, if shadim come, this you're never allowed to use in a יום טוב, so therefore you're not allowed to send. וחששו חכמים שנתיר שלוחו יאמרו שמותר גם לנעליו. And the sage says, if we're going to say that you're allowed to send him, that people are going to think you're allowed to wear him. If you're allowed to send him, you're allowed to wear him. How much more so? So therefore, we're not even going to allow to send him. In other words, it says, actually, maybe you should be allowed to wear, to send sandal mesumar out. Because I can say, I'm not going to go out of my house with the sandal. But in my house, I like to wear the sandal. Oh. So in other words, the sandal is not muktzeh. The sandal is muktzeh for me to go in, to congregate with Jews.
But the sandal should be muktzeh mishum chofer, mishum...
No, that's not kosher. It's lo kedarko. It's lo kedarko. You don't mean to do it. It's okay. It's like running on grass. You're allowed to run on grass on Shabbos. Some might come off. That's not what you meant. You didn't mean, or taking, if you have a heavy table, to move a heavy table. It makes a line. Yeah, it's not what you meant. Up to here. We finished Perek Aleph.